opening these pages while we sitting at the table, getting every detail just to make sure we stay faithful. Interviewing artists and we making sure it's playful, man. Presented by Reflection, and this is Between the Staples.
What's up? What's up? I'm Rico, my main man Lewis.
What up?
And this is Between the Staples. And guess what we're talking about? Yes, absolute Catwoman.
Number one.
Whew, and man, we got a story. You guys just keep up. Keep up, because it took us a whole hour just to figure out how we're going to talk about this in the order based off of how the comic book goes. But not to say anything negative about that. Comic book is it's well written, and hey, just hang out for this ride. All right,
Absolutely.
Let's jump right into it. First, let's just start by saying this is Absolute Catwoman issue 1, written by who?
Chelsea Grayson and Scott Snyder.
Yes, Chelsea Grayson. She's not just a writer, but she's also a filmmaker who's an understudy of Spike Lee. Wow, so she's been making some movies. Actually, she does have a show that's planning on coming out not this summer, but towards the end of the year. So that's gonna be cool. And also, she worked on Exquisite Corpse, which is a crazy comic book, but that's not what we're talking about today. Let's keep it on the realm of Absolute Catwoman. All right, well, you want to start this off?
Yeah, sure. So, one thing I love about this comic is that it starts off with a fucking amazing twist. It starts off with Catwoman monologuing about how she likes stealing and how, like, just the thrill of it and whatnot. And then we see her in her OG Arkham City outfit.
Yeah, right?
Clean looking outfit.
I was like, with the bug eyes?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. They did it amazing. Turn the page, and you see her get lit up with suppressants, and we see the real Catwoman.
Tranquilizers.
The real Catwoman saying, yeah, no, that's not me, by the way. I'm not materialistic. So,
right?
Off rip, we got a good twist, an amazing look at her new outfit.
Yeah.
And we get to see that this isn't the Selena Kyle we're used to, where she likes stealing, she likes the thrill.
Yeah.
She's doing this for a better life.
I would say she's almost like a Robin Hood. Not saying she steals from the rich, gives to the poor. She steals from the rich to just produce her life.
Absolutely.
She ain't giving away nothing.
Yep.
But how do you want to start this off? You want to start this off by Selena Kyle in Gotham?
So yeah, so we'll go back a little bit with her origin.
Okay.
Because the comic starts with a taste of mischief, of comicness, right?
Yeah.
And that was the twist. And then we get a little introduction to how she became, because we first see her in Absolute Batman, but by the time we see her, she's already rich and she's enjoying retirement, right?
She's well into who she is as Catwoman.
Absolutely. But we don't get any introduction to her as a kid, whereas with, again, Absolute Batman, we see Bruce as a kid and what made him. You feel me? We didn't get any of that. So we start off with her at 13 years old. A whole 13-year time jump in the past, right?
Yeah.
Her living in Gotham as an orphan.
Yeah, she was living with a guy named Joe, which I thought was like, yo, is that Joe Chill? But no, you go back to Absolute Batman 1, Joe Chill was still the person they got hired to do the hit on Thomas Wayne at the zoo. So I'm like, all right, let's just discontinue that one. That's not true. It's just some random guy named Joe. And Selena gets caught stealing credit cards from him and just buying things with his credit cards. And they're on a rooftop scaffold, like a fire escape. And he's yelling at her, holding her by the neck, and it's like, if it wasn't because of you, I'll be so much more. You're holding me back. And then she spins off and says, no, if it wasn't for all the foster checks, without me, you'd be nobody.
Yeah. And
kind of kicks off of him into the emptiness. And I don't even know how this little girl was able to land on her feet, but that's why she's called Catwoman. And then it goes into this little monologue. And within this monologue, you learn more about her mindset and where she's from and what her interests are. And man, where's Selena Kyle from?
Dude. Cuba.
Cuba.
We have a Cuban Catwoman.
Selena Kyle is Cuban.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm kind of taking. Well, if you look at her from Absolute Batman, she does not look like the Selena Kyle that we're used to seeing.
No.
Like, whoa. And it explains. Like, yeah, she's Spanish. She's Latina, right?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Caribbean.
You know, Caribbean.
Yep.
And from there, I don't want to say it, the way this comic book kind of goes forth is it's it's time hopping, and it's going to the past, to the future, or present. Exactly, to the past, back to the present. But it all makes sense. It's a well organized system. It's hard to manipulate how to run down this comic book. But moving forward, I believe she after that she meets up with oh my goodness, excuse me. She meets up with Holly Robinson, which if you guys don't know who Holly Robinson is, she got first introduced in I want to say 1987, created by Frank Miller, Batman Year One. And this guy, he didn't know that Selena Kyle and Holly Robinson, they used to run the streets together, and they wasn't like asking for change or giving out Girl Scout cookies. They were running the streets. They were the nightlife. You know what I'm saying? And Holly Robinson eventually becomes an understudy of Selena Kyle, who grows up to be Catwoman. And how did we first get introduced to Holly Holmes? Sorry, not Holly Holmes. That's MMA. Holly Robinson.
Right, so like you were saying, chronologically how this comic is structured, they do a lot of time jumping.
Yeah.
The first time we see her when she's in Gotham and talking to her foster parents, she's 12, and she's 13. There's actually a 2-year jump skip to when to by the time we see her with Holly. Mm-hmm. So by this point, we can assume that she herself is well established in thievery, in hiding, and being manipulative. We even see her little interaction with the cops, and she deceives them, right? So by the time we see her and Holly, she's 15. We're to assume that they've been friends for a little bit, and she's at this point she's been mentoring Holly in the ways. The first interaction we see is Holly running from the cops, and the first thing she asks is, "Yo, where's a hiding spot?"
You know what she was doing? She 3D printed a screwdriver to smuggle into the Gotham jail to give to her mom. Cops found her, and she runs off.
Gave her the slip.
They say, the cops are like, she stole my handcuffs. She was running down the street on the rooftops, handcuffs, and a plastic screwdriver in one hand. Like, what? And then after that, they keep it real brief, and then they move forward again. And when they do that, that's when we start to meet adult Selena Kyle. Right. And when we do that, that's when they start to introduce her way of life and her way of thinking. And let's just start it off like this. Like, this version of Catwoman is nothing like the DC main universe. No, in every way, she's different. From her logic, the way her output of life, to her suit, everything is different. Even
her motives.
Her motives, yes. Yeah. Even the way of life, like how she lives her life. She's not poor. She's not scraping up crumbs, and she's not trying to find some rich guy just to manipulate and steal from later. She really is doing her own thing. And so how do you want to get into that?
Right, so to build onto what you were saying, not only is she like at her life at a monolith, but when we first see her chronologically in the present, after she's 15 and jumps to the future, or present rather, she's rich. She's living in London. She's actually talking about retirement. You feel me? She did her thing, and as she says in the comic, she got out while she was ahead. She goes to she has a little cat cave.
Cat cave. I'm trying to think of other nicknames that you can use other than cat cave, like maybe the purr, or right, or I don't know,
the feline fortress,
not the box. That just sounds nasty. Well, like I can't think of any, I guess, perfect name besides the cat. The cat cave just sounds so no shit type of moment. Like, oh yeah, what else would you name it? The cat cave. Yeah. It's not very. I don't know the right words to put it, but I feel like
roll off the tongue.
She didn't think it. Well, she thought it through, but she couldn't find a cool name. I guess.
Right.
Like the Arrow Cave, and then Harley Quinn was like, "What about the Quiver?" And he was like, "Oh, that makes sense." It even comes out right, Cat cave, the purr. I like that.
But yeah, so when we see her in the present, she's already established. She's already gone through all of her adventures, and she's set. Financially, she's good. Set. She can retire, as she said. She actually wakes up by a call from a man named Dante Calderon. Do you want to...
Dante. All right, for you guys that know who Dante is, he is basically a terrorist arms dealer. He exclusively only sells to people like Joker, Bane, villains, Raja, people like that. He first got introduced actually in Green Arrow. I did not, sorry, maybe this is wrong on me, I did not think to look up what issue of Arrow, which will make so much sense for this time right now. But you guys can do that, right? Arrow. His first appearance was in Arrow.
Arrow.
Bing. Why'd you do that? Now I gotta edit that in.
Yep.
I guess that's what I get, right?
So he calls her basically to come home
Uh-huh.
and do a little house inspection. And the next time we see, which pretty much is right after the phone call, is she lands in Sicily. That's where her home is.
Yeah. Sicily.
Yep. So she lands in Sicily. They get a little exposition, get like a little feel for Dante. He seems to be a very militant, straightforward man who is doing his job, which is whatever Selena employs him to do. I'm assuming. We get a little cool little street of her little panther. She has a little Black Panther pet, pretty cool. You feel me? She has a little just leave her alone scene.
I know. Like I would like to say, like, you can clearly tell this comic book is written by a woman, which is perfect for this comic
Absolutely.
book. It's well written, but you can tell a strong-minded woman wrote this comic book, and you can tell the fierce, but also the sensitivity throughout this comic book. And I think that's really cool.
I think Chelsea Grayson's touch on this was perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
You hit it. You hit it right when it needed to be.
Absolutely perfect.
You gave us a Catwoman that isn't all about herself, but at the same time, you gave us a Catwoman that takes care of herself at the same time, you know?
Absolutely.
What else are we gonna say about Sicily? Oh yeah, Dante. I feel like Dante's to Selena Kyle, Dante is almost like an Alfred Pennyworth mixed with a Lucius Fox. Kind of as at her need when she needs it, but like takes care of the grounds of like Sicily, her mansion, but also provides her with gadgets and gizmos that she may use when she's doing her. She's not really a vigilante, but when she's living her life as Catwoman.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
And we'll go further into that later when we go into like the meat and potatoes of this comic.
Oh man,
but she has gadgets, she has gizmos, she has secrets that we haven't even seen yet.
Like Joker said,
she got stuff loaded up.
Where did she get those wonderful toys? Like, oh
exactly.
My goodness, her arsenal is crazy.
Absolutely. So after Sicily, she gets does a little home inspection and then goes back to her house in London.
Well, hold on. Let's not forget that Dante offered her a job. Now, I think that job is something that the fact that she denied it probably sparked something. You know, because keep in mind, like DC is filled with nothing but mercenaries.
Yeah.
And I feel like, obviously, Selena Kyle as a cat burglar or a cat woman, she takes jobs to gain, you know, financial success.
Absolutely.
So the reason why she decided to not take that job, which we will lead into in a little bit, but when she decides to not take that job, she goes back to London, and when she gets back to London, I believe she, if I'm not wrong, she gets reintroduced to Holly, correct?
Yes. So the first time we see that is she goes to London, and then she's enjoying her 25th birthday. She's completely alone. She talks about how anybody else would be clubbing and doing all types of debauchery, but that's not her. She's not a materialistic Catwoman. She's here to have a good life and to set herself for life. We see her having a drink, and then she hears a little bump in the noise. Right? Yeah. She checks it out, and it's Holly. It's Holly holding a cake, and the first thing she says is, "Well, you taught me all your tricks."
Yeah, how'd you get in my house? Well, you taught me everything.
You taught me all your tricks.
But did you notice that Selena wasn't very happy to see her?
No.
She was kind of like, "Why are you here?" Almost like you wasn't invited. I didn't call you. Why do you let me know you were on your way?
Absolutely.
So I wonder what that bad blood or what that bridge that was burnt. Why?
Right.
What happened?
They do touch a little bit on some type of conflict in the past. Holly says something about Selena abandoning them because they were a part of a group. They were the original Calicos. And then we don't know what happened. Something occurred, and Selena left, and obviously that left a bad taste in not only Holly, but I'm assuming the rest of the group's mouth.
Yo, we'll get to that. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And that kind of comes up, all what we're leading up to, the whole comic book, even though it was bouncing back and forth, but if you look at it kind of in an order of origin, it builds up. If you haven't noticed that, it all builds up
Absolutely.
to this big beatdown, this big fight, and the whole comic book takes place in what, a day.
Yeah.
But it kind of confused the reader. I would say it kind of confused me. How long is this? How many years has gone by? But at the end of the day, all of this is just one day with, I would assume, her remembering her past.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, after she goes, you know what, you can ride out. I don't want nothing to do with what you got. What is? She gives her a sphere. Like
Holly gives her a cake.
A cake.
And when she leaves, Selena cuts open and then notices a sphere that she doesn't know what it is. She actually says, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
She doesn't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then from there,
pretty much right after that, because Holly snuck in and disabled all of her security, she doesn't have security against intruders.
Yeah.
Right. So lo and behold, an intruder comes, and that leads to the beginning of that false Catwoman. Except now we see furthermore.
Yeah.
There's more than one Catwoman. They have guns.
Yeah.
They're shooting. They're trying to kill her.
Yeah.
It gets to the point where Catwoman's beating them. They have to plant a bomb so to get rid of her that she doesn't notice, right?
Yeah.
She gets blown out of her apartment, and then we get a nice little look at her AI in her suit.
Her Batman Beyond Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Her AI. She has AI built into not just her head, her helmet, but her entire suit is basically Batman Beyond type suit, or a Jarvis. But in this case, his name is Jonesy.
Yeah.
Is an AI that controls her suit to keep her safe as possible, and also her suit is fully Kevlar, and she has a prehensile tail that she can basically control with just mind control. And what's going on in her helmet? What's going on in this girl's helmet?
Speaking of technology, and this is what we were talking about earlier with Dante, she has in her ears.
Yeah, her ears.
She has hidden technology in her ears. On her left ear or right ear, on one of her ears.
Left ear.
She has an electromagnetic pulse disruptor. She has an EMP
in her ear.
In her ear. And then she mentions that she has a secret in her. We don't even
know.
We don't even know what's in the other ear.
Yo, Selena, secrets don't make friends, man.
We don't even know.
What you got in your ears, man?
So, and then, if you were to take a look at the Cat Cave, so such a name, she has technology. She has access to gadgets and gizmos. Like, she's not, like, this isn't year one Catwoman. No. This is her at the end of her career. She's built a life on this, and she's well established, right? So, she's coming down, right? She's in the middle of the air. Diga Jarvis. Her Jonesy, right?
Yeah.
Basically, her Jarvis gives her the rundown on how she's falling, how fast she's falling, what's going to hurt. She ends up deploying a type of parachute, and even then, boom, Jonesy's like, oh, broken ankle.
Yeah.
Dislocated shoulder.
And that's what I'm saying, like the Batman Beyond suit.
Yes.
Like, that suit was made to keep Bruce Wayne or Terry McGinnis alive.
Assesses everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely, right. However, Catwoman at this point, Selena, she doesn't have time to worry about that, right?
No.
She has intruders in her house, and then she visibly sees intruders leaving on bike.
With Holly on the back seat.
Yes. She calls her cat bike, which is the Wildcat.
The Wildcat.
The Wildcat, and she goes, which is dope because she then talks to Jonesy and is like, yo, find them. And then she does like Jonesy does like an Iron Man pinpoint and instantly tracks every single one of them individually.
And her cat cycle, her cat bike, reminded me of Batman's Tumbler.
Yes. But
just two tires. But like he also had a motorcycle as well.
Yeah.
But it was nothing like that.
No.
Like the cat cycle is, or the Wildcat. It's tough. It's tough, and it has a second mode, and that mode is what, Apex?
Apex mode.
And basically, like one thing that I was kind of off put about this comic book is, like, one, it reminded me too much of an Iron Man type situation. But two, it was like I feel like Catwoman's blueprint was based off of the main DC Bruce Wayne Batman storyline. Not as in what the things he went through, but the type of lifestyle he lived as Batman when it came down to his gadgets and his Bat Cave and Catwoman to me in this comic book is basically a doppelganger of Bruce Wayne or Batman, but in the absolute universe.
I think it's worth mentioning that specifically you're differentiating Batman from Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She represents Batman, not Bruce Wayne.
Unlike Joker represents Bruce Wayne.
Exactly.
So it's pretty cool how they're splitting up this man's personalities, which is a big paradox of just craziness. Batman's not sane. That's just my personal opinion. He's gone.
He's not.
He's not. He's not. But I love how they're giving Joker a personality trait of Bruce Wayne, which makes him even worse than Joker is in the main universe. But they're giving Catwoman a Batman type personality from the main DC universe, which just catapults who she is.
Absolutely.
And then now we're left with just this 6'8" brawly Batman. You know,
Monster.
Eat meat potatoes Batman.
Absolutely.
You know. Well, yeah. Let's get it.
All right. So she's on the Wildcat.
Yeah.
She puts it in super ultra apex mode, which just
Yo,
basically transforms it
the
into
Transformer.
a tank bike. Basically, that's basically what it turns into.
Yeah.
She speeds off, and she notices that in the group of the fake Catwoman, I'll call them, right? One of them in the front, one looks different. They're not dressed up as Catwoman.
Yeah.
And two, they're the ones that has Holly strapped to them.
Yeah.
So obviously she targets them, right?
Mm-hmm.
She speeds up, and the first thing she notices is that one, this person is different. Because the first thing this person does is they switch. They go from driving normally to reversing the whole time.
Driving in reverse.
Like, on a speeding bike.
It was like her motorcycle had its own AI navigation, like OnStar, or you know.
Yep.
It was just as she's fighting this person, this ninja, I guess we can call her, on the motorcycle. She's saying to herself, like, no matter how hard I go, it's like my opponent is defending herself effortlessly. Like I'm not able to strike a blow, even when I get a little crazy and do little things that I normally wouldn't do. She's not even flinching about it. Like, she's just acting like it's another day for me.
I think it's worth mentioning that even before their conflict starts, just seeing her opponent go backwards and then stand on her bike, that alone, she's like, oh, this is gonna get very interesting. That is not something that Catwoman was ready for. It's not something she trained for. It's not something that she was looking forward to.
No.
That was spur of the moment. So yeah, Selena is driving, her opponent is reversing, and they're on top of their motorcycles fighting. Like fighting.
Yeah.
And then like Rico said, Catwoman is giving her all.
Yeah.
She's switching up her stances. She's switching up her strategies. She's making on-the-fly decisions to change up to make it more so in her favor, and nothing matters.
No.
Like you said, she's looking at this her opponent, and she's like, wow, like, she's not breaking a sweat. No. She's blocking and not even making a noise. She's effortlessly dodging. Like, there's nothing I can do. And we see that it ends up with her getting knocked off her bike.
Yeah.
Selena couldn't do anything to this person.
No.
And they end up getting away.
And then this is the big boom. So they get away. So we follow Holly and this we will call her a ninja into a warehouse. And
I will say it's worth mentioning. At first, I thought Holly had something to do with this, considering that
I still think
Okay, well, considering that this only happened after Selena declined her offer, right?
Yeah,
that's what happened. So at first, I was like, oh, okay, she had to have she's angry or something, and then all the fake Catwoman, like, it's too personal.
Yeah,
I think it's too personal, right?
Yeah.
The first thing Holly says is, look, if you're gonna kill me, make it quick. So to me, instantly, I was like, oh, okay, maybe she didn't have anything to do with this, because she's literally like, yo, like, first of all, be gentle with me.
Yeah.
And second of all, if you're gonna kill me, be humane about it.
But other than that, she did not. Like, the thing about Holly that I realized that she wasn't trying to fight back. She wasn't trying to get away.
Nope.
She was talking to these people, not shouting at these people.
You're right.
Or even seem like she's worried. She's like, yo, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. You know.
Okay.
But at least, like I said, like, don't let me fall off this bike as you're doing this. You know. And the fact that she snuck into her house, and like you said, basically shut down her entire security system.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that sphere was a make it or break it type of situation. Like, take this, and you know what? We can do this together or not, which they didn't really get into because she got kicked out that fast. Or the consequences is what you just saw. And I feel as though Holly was told to go in there and manipulate Selena, and if she did not, they were going to take care of Holly. So it was almost like Holly was on the Calicos, and they told her, if you don't make Selena join this group or do whatever, we're going to take you out because we can't trust you now.
I will say that could work because without getting to the final, we see the boss. We'll call them the boss, the ninja, whatever. After they drop off Holly, they receive a call, and the first thing we hear is, "You did a good job. We are proud."
Yeah.
So there's an overarching group that orchestrated this against Selena.
I believe it could be the Court of Owls. I know there's other groups within the DC universe or within the Gotham City Batman verse that could have been on that phone. It could have been Ra's al Ghul in the League of Shadows.
Maybe.
But if I'm not mistaken, I think Bane took them out already. Right?
Oh,
didn't Bane take out the League of Shadows?
Joker murdered them. Yes.
So they're gone. Yeah,
they're gone.
They're gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
But then also we have Absolute Evil, and we have that group.
Right.
Could almost spoil it. Could the boss be a part of that group, which was Joker, Brainiac, Lex Luthor, and there was one more person I can't remember off the top. Absolute Evil came out so long ago, I forgot. And I've been reading all this stuff. Well, cool.
We're gonna find out right there.
Oh man! All right, we'll put them right there. But who took Holly?
Right.
Who was that boss?
So they said, you did a good job. We are proud of you. We are proud of you. Cassandra Cain.
Cassandra Cain.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Cassandra Cain. Oh, I can't even say it right now. I just can't believe it.
That twist.
Whoo! Catwoman don't stand a chance. I feel like oh my god, why is it so hard right now? And I'm reading it. Oh my goodness. I feel like she is going to beat the crap out of... They're going to fight again. And they're going to fight on ground or rooftop. And I believe Cassandra Cain is going to beat the crap out of Selena Kyle, Catwoman. And I want to know what Cassandra Cain's name is. Her code name, would you say, in the Absolute universe. And that's basically how issue 1 of Absolute Catwoman ends.
Yeah.
What you guys don't know, though, and if you guys do know, I'm going to remind you, there's going to be, I believe, a one-shot.
Yes.
Of Cassandra Cain.
Yes.
Absolute Cassandra Cain is going to bridge the gap for the future of Absolute Catwoman between the issues of 3 and 4, and that's going to come out... when is that coming out? September 9th. Soon. So we got some time. We got some build up. And yeah, who's writing that? Who has the lead on that? Which I'm really excited about. Chelsea Grayson.
She's done an amazing job.
Dude.
Wow. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with how well this comic was written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, at first, initially, I did have some problems with this comic book. But before we started doing this, we kind of had a meeting about what we were going to talk about. And I just started, the more we started talking about it, the less and less problems I have with this comic book. This comic book is a well-written, well-illustrated, well-rounded comic book. I can't give a flaw to it, really. If I had to rate this comic book, I would, out of 10, I would give it an 8. I would give it an 8 just because, like I said, just how the flashbacks kept going, it led a little bit of confusion, at least to this reader right here. But I bet you if I read it twice, read it again, I'll be able to keep up. But I am looking forward to how it ended and what's to come. I want to see how Selena's going to bounce back to this. Is Holly really a villain, or is she just an innocent bystander?
What I'm curious to is, as we all know in the mainline universe, Cassandra Cain's parents are Lady Shiva and David Cain, both prestigious assassins who are the top-notch hand-to-hand combat.
Like,
right?
dude, her as Batgirl?
Right, no.
Like, come on, bro. It's a wrap.
Undisputed, damn near.
It's a wrap.
So I'm curious if they keep that same origin, because the League in this is no more.
Yeah.
So where would David Cain fit into that? Because he was one of the head of the league, but that doesn't even exist anymore. And then if they keep Lady Shiva, I want to see Absolute Lady Shiva.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to issue 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on.
Absolutely.
I really do wish this was. I wish the Absolute Universe was an ongoing universe. I do feel like the Absolute Universe is going to end eventually, and they're not going to do a volume 2 of it, which is going to be a bummer. But I also feel as though they might consider it due to the fact that the static, the steam is resonating with a lot of fans.
The sales.
And the sales, the volume of how the value of these comics, how they're just going up weekly.
Yeah.
Man, like, come on, buying an Absolute Batman #1, it's like, do I want to pay a bill or buy Absolute #1?
Yeah.
My goodness, you know? Like, it came out at, a $6.99, but at the end of the week, it was $150. In 2 weeks, it was $200.
Yeah.
You know? Like, jeez. Man. But outside of that, how you want to end this?
Man, this issue sets up a lot, and I'm looking forward to how it pays off.
Yeah.
I think the pieces that they put into place for now were done perfectly. Like you said, chronologically, how it's structured, it could be a little confusing, but I think they do it perfectly. It could be a lot worse. I think it could have been a lot worse. For what it was, I think they did it great.
I agree to that.
Yeah.
I do agree to that. On that note, stay tuned. We'll see you in the funny pages, and I'm Rico.
I'm Lewis.
And this is Between the Staples.
Peace.
Opening these pages while we sitting at the table, getting every detail just to make sure we stay faithful. Interviewing artists and we making sure it's playful, man. Presented by Reflection, and this is Between the Staples.